Okay, rarely have we seen a paradigm shift in front of our eyes, but right now, the video delivery paradigm is changing. Millions of people are switching from cable television to more personalized streaming options. Ladies and gentlemen, the paradigm shift is on. Tier 1 in the market right now is consolidating old content that we've seen on cable and putting it into streaming options. And that's fantastic for the consumer. It gives them the versatility they're looking for at the pricing they want. Lower down, we have the platforms that are still offering us crazy cat videos, babies throwing spaghetti bolognese over each other, etc. And again, that's equally fascinating for the consumer. But right in the middle is content that's being demanded. And we know it's being demanded because of reality television. The stats are showing us that 63% of consumers today want to get closer to celebrities, influencers, and the events. This content is ready for monetization, but it has to be live. I'm Gary Smith, CEO and co-founder of Wale Rocks. Wale stands for We Are Live Entertainment. Next slide, please. But it's not easy for our potential partners. Companies are really struggling to understand the demographics, how to market into them, and above all, how to make money. And it's not surprising. In 2019, mobile overtook broadcast television. In fact, in the next 18 months, it is forecast that 93% of all video consumption will be consumed on a mobile device. It's no wonder there's data confusion. Demographics are no longer accurate. 20-year-olds can be watching the same content as 60-year-olds. Only this weekend I will start watching goofy videos with my kids, 8, 6, and I'm 44. But what we do know is live is king. Year to date, 2019, 65% of TV that was consumed was watched live. In fact, in 2016-17, IMG purchased the UFC for $4.1 billion, and one of the primary reasons was live events. But right now, I'm not going to avoid also the white elephant in the room. Revenue theft is rampant. YouTube takes 45 cents in the dollar, whilst Apple and Android take 30 cents in the dollar. But it's deeper than that. They also own your content the day that you actually post it. So consider, you have to build your own content at your cost. You have to build your distribution. You bring the revenue. They own your content, and they take huge percentages. It's daylight robbery. So what does Wale do? What's our solution? Well, Wale extends and monetizes audiences. Let me repeat that. We extend and we monetize our partners' content. We have 5 accepted revenue streams: pay-per-view, subscriptions, advertising, in-app merchandise purchasing, and contests. Recently, we've signed distribution, and we now have access to over 300 million uniques per annum. We've tested our platform, and we can now stream to millions of people simultaneously. And the white elephant in the room, we're moving to a HTML5 platform as we speak, and that will increase revenue up to 75%, increasing our margins and our partners, because through our revenue share model, we share this. Next, 2 slides on, sorry. So who are we? We consider ourselves to be a lean startup model. We were formed in Q2 2019, and we've invested around $130,000 ourselves. When we blueprinted what we wanted, we knew we needed a technology partner who had the experience and been in the market, and we formed a partnership with a company called Speed Brackets. We have global exclusivity in this area, and we've taken 100,000 shares ownership in that business. We will look to do more in the future. Once we had our product, we then looked for our distribution. Our distribution is coming from our exclusive partnership with National Day Calendar. National Day Calendar right now has 300 million uniques per annum, plus 13,000 consumer influencers. Once we had this, we then looked around for our content partners so we could match our content into our technology and out to our distribution. We now have 3 contracts with agencies that have given us access to over 50 events in 2020 and 41 entertainment and sports radio stations with hundreds of events available to us. So we have our product, we have our distribution, we have content, but the biggest thing I'm proud of the team for ahead of launch is that we already have 2 partnerships signed, and then we are projecting gross revenues in year 1 of $430,000 from those relationships. Next slide, please. So, who are we? We consider ourselves to be a veteran team. I'm Gary Smith. I'm former McKinsey's commercialization expert, and I've worked in the sports and entertainment industry for the last 10 years. Ken Hubbard, who I believe you met last time, is former CEO of technology and consumer products and an expert in systems, distribution, finance, and corporate governance. He's also an investor. Marlo Anderson, who's on our team, he's actually the founder and owner of National Day Calendar, and he's a TED Talk speaker. Whilst Travis Fox, video producer, speaker, author, and content expert. Travis's job is critical to what we do. He is going to maintain our streams at the highest quality because we will not push if we don't have that. Third-party exclusive partnerships that we have, we can talk about at a later date. So next slide, please. So what does the market look like right now? Well, in the US alone, there's 257 million smartphones. 177 million of those fit our model. Year one, we're looking for around about 180,000. That's 0.00006%. So hardly even scraping the available market, so touching the available market. Next slide, please. So as I've touched on, our go-to-market strategy year one is to partner with the highest premium content suppliers, brands and advertisers, and within our distribution, we're only looking at a very conservative reach. We're looking at 0.0001% of our 300 million. That's 30 to 63,000 people per event, and around about 5 events. Next slide, please. Our business model. To work with Wale, we've worked out that any integration and customization, because we've modularized our product, is going to be circa $2,000 to $10,000 for our partners. If there's any more bespoke, we'll obviously cost that relevant at the time. In terms of our revenue models that we've talked about, pay-per-view, subscription, etc., we are looking to keep those below $10. So the takeaways from this slide is that in years 1 and 2, we're aiming for $7. We know that our delivery costs, including our revenue share model, is $1.71. So our gross revenue is $5.29. That's circa 75% per customer. Next slide, please. So our competitive analysis. Okay, as you can see on the left-hand side, these are our revenue streams. These are already built into our app, and that's in prototype in the App Store. TV, Hulu, Disney, etc. They have 2 right now. ESPN Plus is a good example. You pay subscription, $4.99 plus your pay-per-view. Same with social. And proprietary, and I love Twitch. Not much of a gamer, but I do love Twitch. They also have in-stream purchase. But what I want you to take away from this slide is this, our key differential. We are not content owners. We extend and we monetize content through live streaming and on-demand content. Next slide, please. So our financial projections, year one, we're projecting 5 events growing to 31 events. Year 1 and 2, we put our price at around $7, moving to about $15 by year 4. We know that early adopters will spend less than veteran users, and we know we'll increase the quality of our content as we go through year 2 and 3. Gross revenue at 1.3 million, growing to 19 million by year 4, and year 1 we'll be in the hole by around 300,000, but growing out to about 4.5 million, so 24% of revenue. What's really critical to understand about these numbers is that we haven't calculated anything that our partners bring. On one of the contracts that I mentioned in the earlier slides, I already have access to. I have 2 influencers who have a social media following of 30 million people. And that event goes on March 26th here in Vegas. We have not calculated that volume. We've only calculated the numbers that are in our control and have signed contracts for. Next slide, please. So our investment opportunity. As I said, we've invested $130,000. We're looking to raise $1 million for around 20% of our business. The use of funds, 30% for app customization. We need to complete our UX and UI in our different verticals. 50% for sales and marketing, and 20% for G&A. Obviously, we understand from our forecast that we'll have to raise again, but before that, we're doing normal and maximize investors' returns. We're looking to exit 3 to 5 years as the market consolidates. And we understand that the market's consolidating because the big takeaway here is that in 2019, there's been 90 streaming company acquisitions already, with a minimum of an 8 times multiple purchase price. Next slide, please. So to summarize, we have the technology, we have a seasoned team to deliver, we have 50 plus events already in our pipeline, we have marketing and distribution, and we have a roadmap to execution. Next slide, please. I'm Gary Smith, and I thank you all for your time.